Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another PlayStation review. Today I'm taking a look at American Hero. Now the footage you're seeing is from my PlayStation 5, although it is available on the PlayStation 4 as well. Now what is American Hero, I hear you asking? Well, this game is a never released FMV game. It was originally intended for the Atari Jaguar CD back in the 90s. Never got released, never really got fully completed. However, 25 plus years later, they have got together and completed the game. The original voice actor, Timothy Bottoms, has also come back and returned to do some voiceover work in order for them to complete the game. So, what are my thoughts on American Hero? Well, I have reviewed a handful of FMV games. I mean, back in the day, in the 90s, I really enjoyed a lot of the FMV games. I've got a lot of affection for the Wing Commander games with Mark Hamill and the X-Files games, the FMV game. I do think there is a place for them. I think they can be fun. And they do churn out quite a few of them on the PlayStation consoles. And they are of pretty decent quality as well and a lot of fun to play. So where does American Hero sit in all that? Does it compete with the modern FMV games that we're playing on consoles? Well, to be quite frank, no, not really. This is a game very much of the 90s and probably should have stayed in the 90s. It kind of... Well, I hesitate to say game. I mean, even the modern FMV games, you struggle to call them games. They're more like interactive movies. But you do get a little bit more to do in those films, in those games, than you certainly do in this one. This one, obviously, there is the branching paths, and you can make choices. Some of them life or death choices for your character, and then you have to kind of start again or start from your last checkpoint. There are checkpoints that come up semi-regular here for you to go back to if you die, and the choices really consist of mainly 2 or 3 choices, and the character Jack will verbalize them and you'll see a picture of them. So it might be a case of you're trying to break into someone's home and it'll come up with a door, gate or climb. So you've got a choice of trying to go through the door, through the gate, or climb and go through a window. And you could choose which one, and the outcome of that will depend on your choice, the next scene that you're going to see. And it does that throughout the movie. You know, running away, running down a corridor, you're going to go left or you're going to go right. You're in a life or death situation, you get choices, what you're going to do. And it really is just as simple as that. It's no more complex than that. There are some choices that require you to button mash a certain button for you to get out of a situation, outrun a vehicle, so on and so forth, but that is it. This is literally just like watching a movie and occasionally you'll click a button and make a choice. It's not inspiring stuff. The acting and dialogue is B-movie standard at best, to be fair. It's meant to be cheesy. The dialogue's meant to be bad. It's supposed to be... You can't even really call it a throwback to the 90s because it's not as if this is like a modern game that is kind of made to look retro, or it's a throwback to the films from the 80s and 90s. This was made in the 90s. So you can't even say it's got a retro charm about it. It's a game that was created in the 90s that has been completed now. So you can't even say that about it, really. It was probably never released for a pretty good reason. This is not well, it's not expensive. I'll go as far as to say that. I think it's like $11.99. I personally think it's probably still overpriced at that price because it doesn't take long to finish the game. And yes, you can, obviously, you've got replay value here. You can replay the game and make different choices. But some of the transitions as well between the scenes are just jarring. And it's clear that they haven't been able to finish some scenes and stuff. So it just kind of jumps from one scene to the next occasionally. And they don't necessarily make sense. So, I mean... if you're a huge fan of FMV games, if you've always, wanted to play American Hero, that game that was never released back in the 90s, well, here it is. It's available for you guys to buy and play right now on the PlayStation. Do I recommend you do it? Honestly, probably not. I don't necessarily think it's worth your money, but if you are determined to give this game a go, then I would probably suggest that you definitely wait for a sale for this one. If this drops down to about a £5, then it might be worth picking up. It won't necessarily feel like you're wasting your money then, but £11.99 for me is a little bit overpriced for what we're getting for this game. So American Hero, guys, if you're a huge fan of FMVs, maybe give it a go. The rest of us, I would suggest missing this one off your game list, because it is definitely probably not going to be a game that you're going to want to seek out and enjoy. It's a little bit of a throwback and not necessarily in a good way. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.